Hi, I'm research psychologist Rogers Follansbee. Let's talk about the defense mechanism they call projection. Is it real? Let's start by asking ourselves if a person really and truly defends themselves by employing what has been classically known as projection. Does projection really save us from feeling negative emotions? I don't think it does. Not by a long shot. Let me give you an example of how structured psychology sees this. Let's say that last week, and just after you mopped your kitchen floor, a friend shows up for a cup of coffee. They accidentally slip on that slippery floor you just left behind, hit their head against your kitchen table, and die. As you can see, I'll go for the overly dramatic every time. The following day, as you scan the supermarket where you're shopping, you notice that everyone who looks at you does so with eyes of accusation. This is what is often understood as projecting our emotions on others. But here's my question. As a result of thinking others are looking at you with suspicion, do you feel any less guilty? No, you don't. As a matter of fact, now you not only have the self-guilt you've been feeling about the ghastly accident from the day before, but you also feel accused by your environment. I fail to see how your so-called projection has defended you in any way. Now let's invert our little example. This time, I'll have you save the life of your best friend, who was about to choke to death again in your kitchen. You see that your friend is struggling to breathe because of something you gave them to eat. Then you remember how the Heimlich maneuver goes, and you bring them back to life. The next day, you find yourself back shopping at that same supermarket. You look around and see those in your vicinity with eyes of approval and admiration. But why? There is no guilt here to be dealt with, nothing negative, nothing to repair. Quite the opposite. You should be applauded and admired. You should be praised. When one experiences an intense emotion, it is not unusual to see that emotion as coming from its actual birthplace, the environment. It's our environment that tells us who we are and how to think. We know ourselves through our environment. It's the only way we can. So, if that's the case, then you might ask, why don't all of us experience all of our emotions as coming from outside of us? Because we've learned from our environment and or via personal experience that what we've considered to be ours is one thing, while what actually pertains to the environment is quite another. That indeed is one more misconception structured psychology would like to set straight. We are relational beings, and therefore we are our environment, and our environment is us. The only reason we don't directly feel our emotions as attached to the world around us is that we have learned, and learned very well, what our environment has taught us. You are here, I am there. You are you, and I am me. Period. Life is so much less confusing that way. Sadly, it's not at all the way things actually are. When you're intensely happy or self-satisfied, afraid or guilty, you feel those emotions because they form part of that with which you are in relationship. The subject, that's you, sees the object, the world around you, or your environment, as that which makes you feel what you feel. There is nothing here that requires some mysterious human faculty to be employed for the sake of psychological repair. Nothing needs to be fixed, and nothing is fixed by viewing your environment as the source of your emotions. Your emotions are just a reflection of who you are and what you feel. It is the relationship that you have with your environment that helps you feel whatever you're feeling in the first place. What motivates or triggers us all to penetrate the relational learning response to our perceptions is simply intensity. No negative emotion requires that it be magically launched outside of oneself, thereby creating some sort of inexplicable wall of defense. When we feel guilt, it's the environment that is responsible for that feeling. If we have done something to offend one of our environmental rules, it is directly from that same environment that we'll see representatives or reminders of that vital relationship. Please remember that all our emotions, good or bad, positive or negative, are environmentally referential. Thank you for watching.
Understand why we all think, feel, and do the things we do. Read It's Not Your Fault by Rogers Follansbee. Link in the comments below.